more than half of Kenyans approve of the president's performance in the last 3 months. That's according to the latest study by IPSOS Synovate. At the same time, more than half of Kenyans believe the country is heading in the wrong direction. 57% approve of the president's performance compared to 35% who say they disapprove of the performance. The numbers changes drastically though, depending on the political affiliations. 84% of Jubilee supporters approve of the president's performance compared to 69% from CORD who disapprove. More than half of Kenyans, though, say that the country is generally heading in the wrong direction compared to 30% who say Kenya is heading in the right direction. The numbers are different based on the political affiliations again. At the same time, more than half of Kenyans say during the last 3 months, the general economic conditions for them and their family has worsened. 54% of Kenyans in general says their condition has worsened, but it takes a political angle as well. 44% of Jubilee supporters say their condition has worsened compared to 65% of the CORD supporters. The numbers are slightly different compared to 5 years ago. 44% say the economic condition has worsened in the last 5 years compared to 35% who say it has improved. The numbers also vary based on their political affiliations as well. According to the poll, the most serious problem in Kenya is the high cost of living, and according to a survey by IPSOS, corruption comes in second, followed by lack of employment, hunger, and drought rank at fourth, with 14% of the respondents saying that the lack of rains is the biggest issue facing the country as we speak. And Tom Wolf is joining me on phone just to sort of dissect the numbers. Tom, did you find it strange that more than half of Kenyans support the president's performance and they approve of it, and yet a further 59% say the country is heading in the wrong direction?
Thank you for the question. No, not at all, because as you could probably see if you went through the whole release, two issues stand out that relate to your good question. One is that the approval rating for the president, that is a percentage, has gone down somewhat since mid last year from 63 to 57%. Yes, still a majority, but small. But when we asked a new question we put into the survey, which we've never asked before, who do you think is most responsible for the direction that the country is heading in? So that those who said the country is going in the right direction, 81%, that's 4 out of 5, gave the president credit. And the nearest next frequently mentioned answer in a single response question was the governors or county governments. For those who said that they think Kenya is going in the wrong direction, far fewer, only 59% put the responsibility on the president. And the other 41% were spread out over a number of different actors, from governors, parliament, the opposition, deputy president, cabinet secretaries, and so on, with actually...
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Another, if I can just get this figure here, 8% saying they weren't sure. So whereas the president gets most of the credit from those who think that the country is going in the right direction, only slightly over half hold him responsible for their view that the country is going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And I think that's the question. I don't know why it took us so long to think of asking it, but I think it really helps to indicate or illustrate how it can be, as you pointed out, that the proportion who think the country is going in the wrong direction is quite a bit higher than those who will give the president some approval for his performance over the last 3 months.
All right, Tom, before I let you go very briefly, whenever such a poll comes out, there's always accusations that there was undue influence from the person who the poll favors. Was there any influence during this poll?
Well, that's a funny question. I mean, of course, if there was undue influence, I wouldn't be able to confess that, would I? I would keep it secret and put all the money that I was paid in my bank account, or even put it under my bed. So I'm wondering, for this decline in the president's approval rating and so on, is the accusation that we were paid off by the opposition or paid off by the government? Who is supposedly paying the piper? It would be confusing for me to know.
Yeah. So you're saying there was no influence on this one, basically?
Well, of course. I mean, we can't play such silly games.
Okay.
But I mean, your question doesn't surprise me because we could give a poll saying that 99% of Kenyans expect that the sun will rise in the east tomorrow, and people would be shouting, "Who's paid you to say that?" I mean, you know, there's so much suspicion and mistrust in the country. It doesn't surprise me, but we don't pay any attention to that.
All right. Thanks, Tom. That's Tom
Great.
Woofer,
Thank you for
researcher
your
with
question.
IPSOS, speaking to us about the research that just came out.